So, as you know from my very last video, I talked about, I ranted, got off the topic about, I don't know, 50 times. And one of the rants was the DNC leaked emails from thanks to WikiLeaks show that these people are going to, big donors, we got your back. We got appointed positions for you guys in our government. You're not qualified to be in them. You don't have any business being in them. Matter of fact, the positions don't even need to be there. But we created these positions a long time ago so that we could give you guys the bonuses you deserve for campaign contributions, i.e. payoffs. So I thought, let's just do a full video on exactly what just happened with these DNC leaked emails in regards to give big donors nice rewards, as in high-paying jobs for doing their little deeds of contributing. Leaked DNC documents show plans to reward big donors with federal appointments. Democratic National Committee documents recently released by WikiLeaks include spreadsheets and emails that appear to show party officials planning which donors and prominent fundraisers to provide with appointments to federal boards and commissions. And let me interject for a second as I do. All I hear right now from the government, Putin. We know it came from Putin. Nancy Pelosi, that freaking witch. I swear I would love to punch that woman in the face. I hate to say that about any person, much less a woman. But damn it, I won't punch her. I'd slap her in the damn face, okay? Open hand, fingers open, wham. Leave my handprint right on her face, like the Chef Boyardee glove. Boom. Putin, we know it's Putin. How there should be consequences for this internationally. No, there should be consequences, not internationally, nationally, for what you guys have done. This is a fraud. This is a crime. This is a crime. Bribery. And all they're talking about is Putin. We know it came from Russia and that damn Putin. I don't care where it came from. I'm glad it came out. Just like when Julian Assange and what's the other guy? Eric Snowden. Do you remember when it first happened? This guy's a traitor. He could have put our country at risk. This is, that was the tone that was coming out at that time. How do I feel about it now? Matter of fact, even then when it came out, I felt the same way I feel now. Good for him. I'm glad you blew the whistle, because now we know just how bad we're being spied upon. And for every damn thing, when we were told you had to be on these special lists and you had to be... No, actually, everybody's being spied on. Oh. But again, rather than look at that, let's call the guy a rotten traitor, and he's a damn hero. And whoever leaked these emails, you're a hero, because you've exposed government fraud and corruption rotten to the core. No one wants to talk about that. They just get pissed off that their cover's been blown. Now we're pissed. We got to go deal with this guy. Oh crap, we can't. He fled to Russia. God damn. So just stomp your feet and whine. The documents, which were circulated among top DNC officials in April, could raise legal questions for the party, says Ken Boehm, the chairman of the National Legal and Policy Center, a government watchdog group. Quote, the disclosed DNC emails sure look like the potential Clinton administration has intertwined the appointments to federal government boards and commissions with the political and fundraising operations of the DNC, or the Democratic Party. That is unethical, if not illegal, end quote. I'd say at the bare minimum unethical. The records, which WikiLeaks released along with nearly 20,000 hacked DNC emails and other documents on Friday, also expose one of the Beltway's worst kept secrets. That wealthy politicos can often buy their way to presidential appointments. President Obama has been criticized for appointing dozens of top fundraisers called bundlers in the political fundraising realm to ambassadorships and other cushy federal positions. The spreadsheet, which was accompanied by emails sent between officials with the DNC's finance team, contains 23 names of little-known corporate executives and professional fundraisers who have donated to the committee and various Democratic political action committees. And they list several of these here. I don't even care who they are. Again, here's why. Why don't you care who's on that spreadsheet? Because who's on the spreadsheet are the people who donated to these politicians. These people didn't swear an oath or take an oath or anything, have any agreement with you or I, the taxpayer. But the politicians do and did. It's kind of like your wife's cheating on you. Hold on. Are you going to kill the guy that she's cheating on with, or are you going to be pissed off at your wife? We took the vow, honey. We're not supposed to cheat on each other, honey. You're cheating on me with this other guy. Again, am I going to go after the guy? You leave my wife alone. No, wife. This problem's between you and me now. We got a major problem, right? So the people on the list are meaningless. They're meaningless. It's the people in politics, these politicians, who deserve the lashing, tar and feathering, at the least. Much worse than that's actually deserved. The proposed appointments also provide more evidence that the DNC favored Clinton over her former primary challenger, Bernie Sanders, who, as I'm sure you've heard recently, is telling his camp, we cannot allow Donald Trump to win. We've got to get Hillary Clinton elected, to the sound of unbelievable booing and massive frustration and screaming. So all of you Bernie supporters, are you feeling the burn? Those people just found out. Many of them young, right? The young bucks, the millennials. I'm for Bernie, man. Student loan debt and free school. Oh, yeah, I got to vote for Bernie. Hold on, Bernie. We're finding out that you were robbed. You want to try, and not only that, a lawsuit was filed in another state. I mentioned this the other day. That says our exit polling data is a massive discrepancy between what these electronic voting machines said Hillary Clinton won. Our data suggesting that Bernie won. Lawsuits filed. Bernie, I'm sure you've heard about it. For God's sakes, a lawsuit's filed in your favor. You want to say, hold on, I might have to run again. I might actually run because, nope. That's what he said. She beat me fair and square. I wouldn't have won anyways. We got to go with her. He raised somewhere around $200 million. I want to take this time for Bernie to, as his unofficial spokesperson, to thank you for putting some cash in his pockets. Because you know what happens to the excess campaign contributions after you don't use them? You can't just take them right away. After your career ends, then you can take them and do what you want with it. Spend it, whatever. So in other words, you just gave Uncle Bernie a nice, plush retirement fund. He's not going to worry about, like my last video, this 2% increase in retirement fees and all that crap, right? More taxation that you and I are going to have to suffer through. He's loaded. So these millennials just found out. This is my first time getting really into this, and I'm going to vote, and I'm going for Bernie. Hey, wait a minute. That's not right. Bernie, you said, what do you mean you don't even want to... What? You just found out how politics works, kids. As I say, here's looking at you, kid. Anyways, where was I? Most of the donors listed on the spreadsheet have given to Clinton's campaign. None gave to Sanders. DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign on Sunday. Oh, poor thing. Because of the anti-Sanders bias that showed up in documents released by WikiLeaks. It is unclear from the DNC spreadsheet if any of the people on the list made specific requests for federal appointments. In other words, hey, I'm number 17 on the list. I really like that position over at the FDA. I really want that. I want to be on the board. Why? Because I know I'm going to get a nice fat paycheck for doing nothing, and I get to help bring in more pharmaceutical companies who really put money in my pocket. So I'll get this plus job making sick money and bonus money from the pharmaceutical industry. That's the one I want, right? So what this is saying is we don't know if that was the case. Like, in other words, they were asking for positions. That's not known, nor does it even matter, to be honest with you. But one tip-off that the document is detailing a quid pro quo is an entry next to the name of David Shapira, the executive chairman of grocery store giant Eagle Inc., and then USPS, a likely reference to the U.S. Postal Service, is entered on the spreadsheet. President Obama nominated Shapira, the same Shapira, for a position on the USPS Board of Governors last year. But the retail executive did not take the position because congressional Republicans held up his nomination. Oh, wow, we actually got something right. So, USPS Board of Governors. Google. USPS Board of Governors. Salary. Can I find something? Google. Board generally meets once a month. Each January, the governors elect a chairman and a vice chairman. Each governor receives $300 per day for not more than 42 days of meetings each year and travel expenses, in addition to an annual salary of $30,000. $30,000? That ain't no payday. For not more than 42 days, $300. In addition to a salary of $30,000. The governors employ a full-time corporate secretary who serves as their primary staff assistant to the board. That just doesn't even make sense. Why? What kind of thank you? What kind of thank you for me giving you tons of money, donating to your campaign, and I get a measly $30,000 a year? Well, again, he's getting $30,000 a year plus $300 for no more than 42 days. In other words, they don't meet that often. So, $30,000 bonus for you. You hardly ever meet, and when you do meet, you're getting $300 every day. Still not huge in my book, but nonetheless, it's an appointment. It's rotten. It doesn't even need to be there. Shapira and his wife Cynthia have donated heavily to Clinton, the DNC, and other Democratic and liberal political action committees. They have given the $2,700 maximum to Clinton. In 2014, Shapira contributed $100,000 to American Unity PAC, a political action committee that supports pro-LGBT candidates. Cynthia Shapira has given $33,400 to the DNC this cycle and $58,400 to the Hillary Victory Fund since last year. The Shapiras did not respond to a request for comment. Oh, imagine that. The donor spreadsheet is included in an email chain in which Jordan Kaplan, DNC's National Finance Director, asks other officials to provide names of donors they want to propose for federal commissions. In other words, we don't care if there are super qualified people that exist in this country, and there are, to take these appointed positions. I want you to give me the names of donors that we want to propose for federal commissions. Last call for boards and commissions, Kaplan wrote on April 20th. Last call for alcohol. Last call for anyone you want to put in a plush job. There's a ton of them. If you have someone, this is what he says, if you have someone, send to DNC Finance Chief or Staff Scott Comer, full name, city, state, email, and a phone number. Send as many as you want. Just don't know how many people will get to. The email confused at least one official involved in the exchange. Quote, boards and commissions? Question mark. Sorry, I'm lost, wrote Jordan Vaughn, the National Finance Director for the DNC's African American Leadership Council. Comer explained, any folks who you'd like to be considered to be on the board of, for example, USPS, NEA, NEH, basically anyone who has a niche or interest and might like to serve on the board of one of these orgs, end quote. Quote, another one. I should say, though, that the likelihood of landing a spot on ones as prestigious as NEA or USPS is unlikely, he added, referring to the National Endowment for the Arts and the U.S. Postal Service. It's much more likely they'll get something like President's Commission on the Celebration of Women in American History. No shade to women, but when you submit your names, we don't need specific designations, he continued. Louis Miranda, the DNC's communications director, and Wasserman Schultz's right-hand man, did not respond to a request for comment on the email chain in the spreadsheet. Quick look, really surprised. Bowen, who once served as chairman for the Political Action Committee Citizens for Reagan, says that the fact that Democrats are lining up appointments to federal committees months before the general election is strong evidence of a quid pro quo. It's also sick evidence of we already know what the voting machines are programmed to do, and that is elect Hillary Clinton. Because if you think the thing with Bernie Sanders, him getting, the exit poll showing he winning massively over Clinton, and she still got it, if you think that's bad, wait till you see this election cycle. You're going to see massive amounts of people voting for Trump. Exit poll data shows, it'll show it. And then we'll find out 51-49 or maybe 52-48. It'll be a pretty close race. Quote, having participated in the boards and commissions work for President-elect Reagan, I know there's no need to involve partisans months before the election, he told the DC. These appointments are made on a staggered basis, so there's no rush. As with so much associated with the Clinton operations, there is an appearance that these appointments have been pressed into service as a device to raise funds. The DNC list also includes David Trone. He's the wine and beer retailer from Maryland who made national news earlier this year when he spent $13 million of his own money on an unsuccessful campaign for a U.S. House seat. He has maxed out his donations to Clinton, by the way, and has given $334,000 to the Democratic Hope Fund. He also gave the maximum $33,400 to the DNC in November. Martin Elling is named in the document. He's a senior partner at the consulting firm McKinsey & Company. He's given maximum donations to the DNC as well as the Clinton campaign. He has also contributed $10,000 to super PACs supporting Clinton. Just trying to see McKinsey. If these people are actually on this list right now, is what I'm looking for. Shapira, there's Shapira, Kennedy, Little. So, where was I? Another notable name is A. Robert Pietrzak. I don't even know how to pronounce that. He's global co-head law firm Sidley Austin Securities and Shareholders Litigation Practice. In that role, he defends clients against securities class action lawsuits. You know, securities fraud, Wall Street. Hey, you screwed my people out of some money. We're going to go after you. Well, don't worry. I'm going to go get this lawyer for my company. And they'll know, oh, that's our guy. Contact federal judge so-and-so. He's going to be overseeing the case. Yeah, let him know. One of the club members, people's coming in. Make sure he rules appropriately. Okay, thanks. He has previous experience as a member of a federal commission. He once served on the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's Financial Products Advisory Committee. No kidding. You know, the ones that did a multi-year look into the rigging of silver prices. We didn't find anything. Sir, you were told 2 to 3 times in advance on the day, on the minute, when they were going to rig the market, and they did. Exactly how the guy told you they would. Didn't find anything. Didn't see anything. I'm going to close that one out. He has also maxed out the contributions to the Clinton as well as the DNC. Wayne Jordan, a real estate developer from Northern California, is also on the list. He has donated hundreds of thousands to various Democratic groups. One person on the list appears to already hold a committee spot in the Obama administration. Wade Randlett serves on the Advisory Committee for Trade Policy and Negotiations, a prominent donor to the DNC, the Clinton campaign, and other Democratic PACs. He is CEO of General Biofuels. Isn't that amazing? When George Carlin said, the old comic that died, "It's a big effing club, but you ain't in it," he's right. Donors are in it. All these committees and appointed positions, these are all not needed at all. It's just a spot to say, thanks for raising money for us. Taxpayers will fund your salary. Oh, and taxpayers, we're running out of Social Security money. Too many people are on it. We're going to have to raise it 2%. Add a new 2% to another. We're calling it, what was it, the Save Up Act that they're trying to pass right now? Anyways, as Lindsey Williams appropriately said a few years ago, in a few years, you will not recognize America. We are heading that way. Man, this was before Obamacare passed. This is before any of the recent crap, or any crap over the last few years, honestly. I think he nailed that one. Take care.